how to grow your business using AI. So we all know that AI is a top priority for most companies, and it is useful, right? It does provide business value. But too often when I get on calls, I hear executives kind of just flailing their hands around like, it's very forced. It's like, how do we use AI? Like, what can we do this? Can we do that? Can we, like, there's no structure to it, right? It's more that they want to use AI because everybody's using AI rather than thinking about why they're using AI or like how it's solving an actual problem. And that's really what this video is about. It's like, why even bother? Why are we even trying to use AI in the first place? And some of the things that I hear, the first is marketing gimmick, right? And obviously they don't say that it's a marketing gimmick, but it's something along the lines of how it's going to help them make more sales, right? If we have AI on our landing page, on our website, then it's going to convince more people to buy from us. Or if we just put this in our sales or marketing pitch or something like that along those lines, then they're going to make more money because they've put in AI. What these people are not realizing is that, let's say for a second that what you said is true, that AI is going to get you more customers on the front end. What's going to happen is if you're not using AI to solve an actual problem, they're going to see that this whole AI thing is just a gimmick. It doesn't make any sense, and they're going to churn. Right now, your goodwill is gone because they thought the AI that you're promising is going to do that one thing, and when they got there, they realized it's not that, or even if it is that, it's not as useful as people think it's going to be. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is staying up to date on trends, right? So there's nothing wrong with staying up to date on trends, but that shouldn't be the frame of why you're using AI. The goal of AI, just like any tool, just like any technology or hiring anybody, is to solve a problem. And so if you're just going to put in AI because we want to stay up to date and we're just like we're a company that stays with the trends kind of thing, you're just going to burn through money. Like, AI is expensive, implementations cost money, and more importantly, running these things at scale is going to cost you a lot of money down the line. So my point here is be purposeful, right? If you're planning on using this for some kind of automation, I know this sounds super simple, but when you're in the weeds of business and the daily life of running a business or running your employees, whatever that is, it's easy to kind of forget that this is just another tool, just like anything else. And so the framework that we use, it's actually pretty simple. Technology is fundamentally better, faster, and cheaper than employees, right? I got this from Alex Hormozi, but I love this. This is like the frame. This is like, if we get on a call together, this is what we're going to go over. Is the thing that we're proposing with AI, is this better than my current employees? Is it faster than my current employees? And is it cheaper than my current employees? Right? And cheaper is normally taken care of. Faster most of the time is taken care of, but the better is the real question, right? If it's better, if these criteria are met, then the automation makes sense, right? This is actually a stricter bound. It's a more specific definition of what automation actually is. And if these criteria are not met, then you might want to rethink and kind of see, like, what exactly am I trying to do here? Because more likely than not, if it's not fitting in this definition, you might just be using AI for the sake of using AI rather than actually trying to help your business grow. And so I like to kind of break it down into its most simplest form, right? As a business owner, you want to increase your profit. You want to increase the amount of money you make. The only two ways to do that, first is to increase your revenue, and second is to decrease your expenses. So increasing revenue, well, this is pretty straightforward, right? The formula for this is the ticket price, how much you charge, times the number of customers. And so increasing your ticket price, you can do that using AI. Like, a great example of that is with Notion or Loom. The software that I'm using to record with this, after this video is done, is going to kind of write a title for me. It's going to write the description, and it just helps me stay organized. Similar thing with Notion, right? You have to pay extra, but with that, you can start making templates automatically. You can start drafting documents. You can have, there's a lot you can do with that AI. And so for some people, that extra price makes sense. And so if you charge more per customer, your revenue will go up, right? And similar thing with number of customers. The best application of this is with, sending out cold emails, like writing more personalized messages at scale, right? If you write more personalized messages, then you're going to get a high response. Or if you get a high response, you're going to book more calls. If you book more calls, then you're going to get more. Your revenue is going to go up, right? Because your ticket price is the same, but your revenue goes up, and because your revenue goes up, your profit goes up. You get the idea. On the other side is expenses, and this is actually where I would say most applications fall in, some kind of time saving, right? Like, if something takes your employee, let's say 10 hours, AI can bring that down to 1 hour. So I'm not saying that the AI takes 1 hour, I'm saying that the employee takes 1 hour to do it because that 9 hours was automated, right? So the benefit there, like from a real first principles point of view, is that those extra 9 hours is time that you gain back that your employee can use to do more higher value tasks or maybe take on more clients. If each client takes 10 hours to service and we cut that down to 1 hour, that's 9 extra clients you can kind of fit in. So that increases the revenue, which increases your profit. So I hope you're seeing how I'm thinking through this. It's very mechanistic and purposeful, right? We're not using AI for the sake of using AI. We're trying to actually help your business grow using this technology. And before I end this video, I wanted to kind of give you with some concrete action steps. So I call this typical Gen AI plugins. What that means is if it meets this criteria, you can just kind of put in Gen AI and it's going to do its thing. So first thing is qualitative data. This is pretty obvious, but we use text to interact with ChatGPT. With all large language models, text is the language, right? It's technically not text, it's tokens, but the input output is going to be text of any kind. So it could be voice, it could be documents, it could be surveys, it could be FAQs, it could be customer reviews. It doesn't matter. If we can get this to text form using anything, then LLMs are game. And when I say AI, technically AI is a broader field and Gen AI is just one specific thing. But typically nowadays businesses are interested in using Gen AI because of the hype that ChatGPT has brought up, and also the new problems that it's able to solve that we were never able to solve before, right? That is why ChatGPT is blowing up. And that's a separate video in itself. And the last thing is making human-like judgments that has an SOP. I don't hear this use case often, but in a nutshell, basically any kind of closed source model, we're pretty lucky. It's very smart, right? GPT-4, Claude, any of those things, they're pretty smart to a level of a human, right? To an extent, maybe like 50, 100 IQ, I'm not sure. And for simple tasks that has an SOP, when I say SOP, all I mean is that it has instructions, right? There's a defined set of instructions that your employees follow. That can be automated pretty simply, right? This is one of the cool new use cases that you can use with an LLM. So the catch there is you want to make sure you have some kind of guardrail. The reason for that is because it's not guaranteed that it's always going to follow your instructions 100% of the time. And that 1% when it does not follow instructions, you have to make sure that you have the proper safety measures in place. And that's something we do at ApplyGPT. Before I end this, I know I said that last time, but another thing to kind of keep in the back of your mind is realize that Gen AI is only one subfield of AI, right? Everybody, it's reasonable and it makes sense why everybody thinks ChatGPT is AI, but realize that there are clustering models, time series models, regression models. Like if you want to kind of predict your sales data, you don't use an LLM for that. You use a time series model, and they've been around for the past 10, 20 years, right? Same thing with regression, right? The app that I use to track my weight, it calculates what my actual weight is based on the water weight fluctuations, my calories, my sleep, and all that. That's using a regression model. So there's a lot of problems that these traditional machine learning models solve that you may or may not be aware of, or something that you're trying to force fit onto ChatGPT when it's not meant for that, right? So these are all the numerical kind of analysis. Like if you have a spreadsheet of data, if you have numbers, sales, it doesn't matter. Any kind of numerical application, these are the kind of models you would use. And with deep learning, right, this is another insane field with a lot of contributions over the years. For example, somebody wanted me to classify whether a tumor is cancerous or not. And that is a deep learning application, right? That has nothing to do with ChatGPT, despite ChatGPT having an image to text modality, right? The newest GPT 4.0, depending on when you're watching this, it's going to be the first one that has multiple modalities, and it doesn't really even matter, right? For these kind of applications, you have to stick to what already worked, which is deep learning. So hopefully you found this video useful. If you want me to personally go into your business and evaluate your use cases, maybe even come up with new ones based on the industry trends that we're seeing, I'm going to put a link to my calendar and my website down below. If you're an SMB business owner, then this call is completely free. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.